Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the red corner. He's wearing black with bronze and weighed in at 10 stone, 12 pounds. Coming to us from Tividale, he brings a professional record of 24 wins, 7 defeats, with 7 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the former British middleweight champion, Jason Welborn. And his opponent across the ring in this championship contest, fighting out of the blue corner, he's wearing black trunks and weighed in at 10 stone, 13 pounds. Hailing from Liverpool, he is undefeated with 19 wins. 11 of his 19 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the former WBC International Super Welterweight Champion, JJ Kid Shamrock Metcalf.
Okay, boys, have a cold break, take one step back. Don't throw any punches around the back of the head and protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck, lads.
Well, these two capable, come forward, super welterweight campaigners are about to clash for the vacant Commonwealth crown.
Seconds out, round 1.
So we're underway then, 12 3-minute rounds for the vacant Commonwealth Super Welterweight title between the undefeated JJ Metcalf, competing in his 20th professional contest tonight. He's the man wearing black who's just getting to work behind a sharp left jab. The tattooed figure wearing the black trunks trimmed with gold is Jason Welborn. Made his pro debut back in 2005, 33 years of age now, and the last time we saw Welborn in the ring, he was fighting for the world title against the formidable Jarrett Swift Hurd. Gave Hurd an uncomfortable moment during the course of that contest before ultimately being taken out in December of last year with a wicked body shot. And it's perhaps worth putting that fact away as Metcalf tries to go down to the body because of his 4 inside the distance defeats. Jason Welborn competing here for the Commonwealth title. 4 of those inside the distance defeats, 3 of them have come via body shots as Metcalf tries left hand downstairs once again.
This would be a real test for Metcalf, no question here, Ronald. Welborn, you know, he's the former undefeated British middleweight champion, and he's also fought for a world title, went overseas and did well for a while. So he'll be very, very confident going into this one. So for Metcalf, yes, he's undefeated. Most people will have him favourite here, but this, for me, is a big test for Metcalf.
Well, certainly, everybody in the trade acknowledges that fact. And these two men have shared a ring previously. They sparred 6 rounds a few years ago. Welborn said he wasn't in tip-top condition for that, so really not much can be read into it. There's no doubt that Welborn is mixed in a higher level of opposition as he lands with a chopping right hand. That prompts Metcalf to plant his feet and try to find his own offense, but again a scything right hand on a downward trajectory fired in by Welborn.
Bad shot from Welborn. Metcalf now just responds there, that double jab right hand. You can see that Metcalf is keeping the hands nice and high. He just drifted off, didn't he? Just probably a lapse in concentration that allowed Welborn just to land that right hand. He's watching a fairly cagey fight at distance here, is Welborn. I think Metcalf has come well prepared. Guard is nice and high, elbows are tucked in. So it's a fairly even first round.
Lead left hook is an impressive shot, followed up with a right hand which wasn't too far away. Metcalf. Welborn retaining his composure. Nice flip to the right to cause the jab to go over his shoulder. Action back in the space of centre ring once again. Both men immensely concentrated. Good left hand to the body from Metcalf was countered by the same shot immediately from Welborn. A very good opening round of boxing.
Thought it would be a close one to call tonight. no easier at this stage to suggest which way it is likely to go after the 3 minutes of action there. Fascinating battle this for the vacant Commonwealth Super Welterweight title between these two, JJ Metcalf and Jason Welborn, and there will be positives, I guess, that both will take from those opening exchanges as they like to try and impose themselves tonight. So back to our commentary team, Ronald McIntosh and
sent out. Round 2.
So into the second round then. It's a very good opening round in this battle for the vacant Commonwealth Super Welterweight crown. Both men employing tight defenses behind high-held gloves, working for their openings, plenty of feints in evidence. It's going to be interesting to see how frequently Metcalf, the boxer in black, uses that right hand, because he injured it last time out in April of this year when he won in the 8th round of an 8-round contest, stopping his man Sandros Medrano in the 8th round, but he hurt his right hand pretty significantly during the course of that contest. And throughout the training camp for this fight, I was speaking with his trainer George Schofield in the build-up to this fight, and he said, well, really, he hasn't been using the right hand at all. So this, here beneath the ring lights, in a Commonwealth title bout competition, is the first time he's going to be testing that right hand in anger since his last contest.
It's just a better start to the round from Metcalf there, working well with his jab. You see he's keeping Welborn at bay there with that shot and trying to set up that right hand. There it is there, you see, so he's working well behind his jab. Welborn, the way he's coming forward, edging forward, probably needs a little bit more head movement to avoid that left jab and then come back with the counter. Welborn's very good when he's coming forward and he throws that right hand, but he's just been, he started this round a little bit too tentative, and that's allowed Metcalf just to get that jab off and set his own right hand up.
Nice movement with the feet from Metcalf to move from the corner he was edging towards to get back to the space of centre ring. Straight shots to the body from long range from Welborn. Given the reputation that these two men have, plenty of measured boxing in evidence over the course of these opening 2 rounds so far.
So it's a little bit better boxing from Metcalf. He's concentrating on keeping the punches nice and straight, and that's just maintaining a gap and a distance between himself and Welborn. You see that there it is again. He just keeps Welborn off balance, you see, so he's thinking of the attacks, but while doing that, then that jab's in his face and there's a big gap, and so it makes it a little bit more difficult for Welborn to close the gap down.
So Welborn doubling up the attack, and when Metcalf's worked back, touched the ropes, Welborn looking to unload with shots downstairs and upstairs, bent on shots crashing in. Metcalf holding on, spinning back to the space of centre ring and looking to pin Welborn to the ropes and get to work behind his jab.
Yeah, good injection of pace there from Welborn. I think he knew that his opponent was keeping him at bay, and so he stepped on the gas, closed the gap down and did the better work. So he'll be looking to close that gap, and then he will get the better shots off from Welborn at close range.
Metcalf kept Welborn out range for most of that second round, didn't he? But his opponent, the aggressor, towards the end of the round, unloading a late flurry.
He fell short a few times there. When he falls short, make him pay. Alright? When he's throwing him at you on them ropes like that, Jay, tie him up. That's all I've got to say now.
It's George Schofield in JJ Metcalf's corner.
Feel your lungs, come on.
A little cause for concern, maybe.
Boxing lovely, nice and easy. Just them some instruction.
So you've just seen this bit of action from Welborn, just closed that gap down, and nothing was actually clean, but nevertheless, this is what he's got to do, and piles on the pressure, gets to
Corners, 10 seconds.
With that attack. Metcalf then just turns him on the ropes.
Seconds out. Round 3.
So into the third round then of the Super Welterweight contest that is scheduled for 12, the vacant Commonwealth title on the line. Jason Welborn mentioned that contest against Jarrett Swift-Hurd, who gave a very good account of himself with an honest effort that is typical of the man. He's been a full-time pro now for the last 3 years, thanks to sponsorship from a construction firm, former pro Dean Hiscox. Welborn says this has allowed him, as he explains, to do it properly, and he has really reaped the benefit during that stretch. From December 2016, he's gone 5-0 before losing to Jarrett Swift-Hurd, including taking the O of Marcus Morrison, who was 14-0 at the time, and winning 2 out of 2 against Tommy Langford to win and defend the title up at middleweight, the British Crown he won. So really getting the benefit from being able to go full-time. Shane Neary, a full-time pro, but he's had terrible luck with injuries. Of course, coming into this one without using his right hand during training camp. Again, nice movement from Metcalf to make Welborn miss. He tried to make him pay, but Welborn intelligently tied up the arm, so he couldn't fire away.
I think both boxers are feeling their way through this one now, Ronald. I think Metcalf does his better work at range behind that jab and straight right hand and create that gap. Welborn, for me, does his better work when he's up close, so he's got to find a way of getting around that jab, moving the head maybe, and coming back with the counter. But I think he's got to quicken his feet up a little bit more, maybe double up the attack and sustain a bit more pressure on Metcalf, because he has got to get up close. That's where he seems to do his better work. You see, at range there, we're seeing Metcalf working very well at distance.
Terrific use of the left jab, and just prior to that, he used good feet and movement from the waist to make Welborn miss repeatedly. So, very good demonstration of hitting and not being hit. The art of boxing from JJ Metcalf. Developed a reputation of something of a crash bang wallet merchant early on in his career. Showing good ring IQ here and plenty of patience as well. Up on his toes, using the perimeter of the ring, coming forward behind straight shots, and really dictating the distance and the tempo at which this contest is being fought here in the 3rd round. So the Commonwealth title fight in the ring at this point, but Kid Galahad receiving the instructions from the referee who will take charge of the world title fight tonight, Mr. Phil Edwards. Let's see if we can listen into what's being said to the challenger.
Corners, 10 seconds.
Well, what a moment for Kid Galahad. Fully au fait with the rules of professional boxing, of course, but on this, the night of his maiden world title challenge, just being given an interpretation as to how Phil Edwards is going to apply those rules as he tries to take the title away from the hometown hero, Josh Warrington, right here in the First Direct Arena. That's our top of the bill fare tonight. Our focus of attention right now is in the boxing ring, with a vacant Commonwealth Super Welterweight title is on the line. JJ Metcalf, the son of former WBU champion Shane Neary, boxing very effectively indeed, up on his toes, using that left jab to very good effect. Welborn in the fight, but for much of this contest, Richie, from round 3 on and in this opening portion of round 4, he's been kept on the end of that sharp left jab from Metcalf.
Metcalf has controlled the pace very well, and he's keeping Welborn at bay. Welborn there just coming back with the left hook, but the better work again probably from Metcalf. So there's got to be a change of tempo from Welborn. He's got to step on the gas a little bit and really put Metcalf under a bit of pressure. Maybe has to target him getting onto those ropes, making Metcalf's feet come square. But certainly at this tempo, then Metcalf is pretty comfortable at this stage. So we need an injection of pace from Welborn. He's got to get up to him, basically, Ronald.
Exchange of body shots during the previous coming together on the other side of the ring, but again, terrific use of twinkle-toed footwork from JJ Metcalf, skating around the perimeter of the ring, and expanding and contracting the distance as he likes. Welborn remaining concentrated over that front foot, trying to close the distance, but JJ Metcalf not really standing still. Glancing right hand landed from Welborn. First saw JJ Metcalf taking the 2011 ABA Elite English title out in Colchester. He beat tall Tom Baker from West Ham 32-30 in the final. That was a terrific contest and part of a terrific ABA final as Welborn tries to get inside. He takes a hard left hand to the body from Metcalf, but then a clipping short right hand landed by Welborn. Good shot from him, checking the chin of Metcalf. He remains concentrated and gets back to work behind that left hand.
So that was a little bit better then from Welborn. He managed to drag Metcalf into holding his feet. If Metcalf holds his feet, that allows Welborn then, it gives him better opportunities and chances to land his shots. Up to now, Metcalf's done well hitting and moving, but he's just held his feet occasionally in this round, and that's allowed Welborn just to score with a couple of good shots.
Metcalf momentarily turned southpaw, didn't stay there for very long before getting back to the orthodox stance and working out behind that left hand once again. And we mentioned the fact that he damaged that right hand in his previous fight, didn't use it during camp. And his coach was joking that his left hand, his left arm has now become considerably bigger than his right. Terrific round of boxing once again. 3-4 completed rounds.
There was enough in that round for Welborn, wasn't there, to give him cause for optimism, despite the fact that Metcalf has, for the most part, exhibited a degree of control over proceedings. He was just called on a couple of occasions there.
What have I said?
Someone listening to the corners again.
Stop worrying about big bludgeoning shots. He's looking for body shots, that's all he's looking for. So stay tight, keep blocking and come back with the little clicks. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's the combination.
Keep the jab working, don't back off, keep on top of him. The pressure's hurting him. Got me? Now we're on top. Don't let it go now, son. Come on,
ready for
well
this?
done.
Are you ready for this?
Come on.
Nearly 10th title. Let's go. You said right on what you told me.
Well, that last round should give Welborn a lot of confidence. He started to find his range a lot better, close the gap down, and he got Metcalf just to hold his feet, and that allowed Welborn then just to score with a couple of good shots.
Round 5.
It'll be interesting next round.
So into the 5th round then. Welborn up on top of the logo at centre ring immediately. JJ Metcalf skating to his left and shooting out a sharp left jab once again. Look at that for a trip hammer left hand from Metcalf. Very impressive indeed. And he's just keeping Welborn on the outside. And look at that, making the man think, keeping him occupied. He tries to get to work with his own left hand, and then the right hand follow-up did get through. Metcalf ties him up, but Welborn working his way free of that attempted clinch. So in at close range, but neither man really letting their hands go as they fight to free up the position. To find the target to get those hands away. And back at range once again, it's the left jab of JJ Metcalf that is the eye-catching shot.
Opportunities that Welborn has missed here on the inside. He should be doing a lot more when they get up close. There's a real art to boxing on the inside, finding that room to punch, and just Welborn just failing to find that space to let his shots go. But nevertheless, he's the danger man when they do get up close. There's another right hand there. That gives him confidence again. It just makes it a little bit more difficult then for Metcalf to keep him at bay. So Welborn, this all comes down to tempo and pace of the contest. When Welborn closes the gap down and quickens the pace, then he seems to have more success.
Beautiful right hook around the left glove of Welborn from Metcalf. Welborn's left glove seemed to be in position, but the accuracy was such that it sneaked behind that attempted defense and just tagged the whiskers of Welborn inside the final minute of this 5th round. And again, you just get the sense that this tempo suits JJ Metcalf down to the ground because he's the boxer who is setting it. Testing the body with the right hand, Welborn comes back with the left hand downstairs. Beautiful left hand and then pivot back to the space of the ring again from Metcalf. Welborn continues his foot slog forwards. Scores downstairs with the left hand to the body. Right hand upstairs, wasn't too far of the mark. Welborn threatening to stray low with a couple of punches. Steve Gray telling both boxers to keep the shots up and legal.
Every bit as fiercely fought as we suspected it might be, this one. Metcalf will still feel that he has the edge here. It's probably the fight that he was expecting. Could still go either way at this juncture. It's this stage of the fight really as we head towards the halfway point of it, where the corners have got plenty of work to do. The form is there for both of them.
You're not bruised up, this is only to keep you swelling down. Boxing lovely. Them body shots, let them go in, sink them in, yeah, we did it there. You've been rougher than the clinches with him. Okay, mate, don't let him push you down. Yeah, okay, mate. Boxing safe. Shot, you don't want to left, nice.
Seconds out. Round 6.
Into the 6th round of this super welterweight contest for the vacant Commonwealth crown. Last time we saw JJ Metcalf on BT Sports screens, it was in a very impressive display against Anto Nieto, stopping him in the 12th round of a contest scheduled for 12, dropping him heavily in the final round with a left hook, and then once he got back to his feet, he unloaded a barrage which convinced the referee to step in and stop the contest in the final round. He showed plenty of patience that night, rather than just steaming out of the gate and overwhelming his opponent with effective aggression. And he's showing similar type of poise and patience here tonight against Jason Welborn. Welborn has had his moments of success, make no mistake, but the boxer who's landing the greater volume of shots, principally that lead left hand, is the man in black, Kid Shamrock, JJ Metcalf.
The lead hand, Ronald, is a very important punch for both boxers here. At the moment, Metcalf's working better with it, and probably Welborn just neglected his jab a little bit because occasionally he's throwing 1-2s and he's a little bit too far out. So he's got to measure the gap a little bit better with that jab. You know, get behind his own lead hand, measure the gap better, and then throw the right hand. So the occasional 1-2 is missing the target. See, he's edging forward. He knows he's got to get up close. He's looking for those bent arm shots, but there you go. That's the excitement from Welborn. Once he lands with that right hand, then it's a different story, it's a different complexion to the contest. Metcalf's got to keep him at bay, but when Welborn closes the gap down, it's them bent arm shots that are the eye catchers.
It was a cracking right hand from Welborn that landed right on the point of JJ Metcalf's chin, but he didn't lose his composure or his boxing stance. Bobbing and weaving immediately, tied his man up, got himself some respite, and now he's back to the space of ring centre once again. Can Welborn get himself inside and find the range? Should he use his jab to prise open the defences of JJ Metcalf? Digging away with that left hand to both body and head, blocked effectively by JJ Metcalf. Mention the fact that Welborn is now able to train full-time thanks to sponsorship from Dean Hiscock's construction company. Metcalf also considers himself a full-time pro as he takes a good left hand to the body from Welborn, but Steve Gray stepping in immediately and having a stern word with Jason Welborn, telling him to keep the punches up. Metcalf being given some time to recover after Steve Gray calls timeout. So Metcalf indicating that he's okay to continue, doesn't need anything approaching the 5 minutes permitted. Timing called by Steve Gray, and the action resumes once again, and once more it's that trip hammer of a left hand which sets the tone in this contest, as working away to the body is JJ Metcalf. Now Steve Gray stepping in, and this time it's stern admonishment in the direction of JJ Metcalf, telling him to keep the punches legal and north of the belt line.
So one warning, all right? You both had a warning each, okay?
Well, they've both been guilty of it in this round, to be quite honest. Before Welborn threw his low shot, there's a couple of low shots that went in for both boxers, so Steve Gray here is having a word, and rightly so. One apiece on the low blows roll.
Just a little bit of a glare exchange between the two boxers at the conclusion of that round. Both men spoken to
Listen,
about landing
there's
south
one thing to tell you off about. When you're throwing your jab, you're throwing a lovely jab, you drop it.
Some of the action here, so that's a very, very low left hand indeed from Jason Welborn, and James Metcalf there. He returns the compliment, doesn't it? Both boxers had a bit of a telling off. During the round, there was some good boxing also from both boxers, but Welborn on the attack. The eye-catching work certainly coming from him. Metcalf had some good moments with the jab, but as Welborn's coming forward, this was a great sustained attack from him. Great round of boxing.
Seconds out. Round 7.
So into the second half of this bout for the vacant Commonwealth title in the super welterweight division. 6 rounds completed, a potential 6 rounds to go, and now both men planting their feet to begin this 7th round and really testing the torsos of one another, digging in hard shots to the body. And a change in tactic discernible from JJ Metcalf, because he's not looking to keep his man at bay behind a long left jab, instead engaging him in a toe-to-toe exchange at mid and short range with eye-catching notable shots, hooks and uppercuts of the bent-arm variety.
He just started to change the tactic, didn't you, at the start of the round. Now he's gone back on the outside using the jab, but I think obviously he wants to mix it on the inside and fancies his chances against Welborn, but that will bring Welborn right into it. That will give him more opportunities. If Metcalf decides to hold his feet and trade, then it really is a 50-50. You can get the better shots home.
Oh, terrific volume and variety in evidence from JJ Metcalf once again, because he punched out 4 profulent punches of the straight variety upstairs before dipping downstairs and ending the combination with more punches to the head once again. And all that time, Welborn's tucking up, trying to defend, but some of them did get through, as did that beautiful double left jab. Terrific use of the lead hand from JJ Metcalf tonight, and then using the ring effectively, skitting along the ropes, using every inch of the ring canvas. So Welborn onto the front foot, left hook was blocked, but the right hand did have some success. Exchange of straight shots, it was a sharp right hand from Metcalf. Welborn now looking to use his own left jab, and we haven't perhaps seen that as often as his corner would like. Will Johnson, the man giving the instructions over in that red corner of Jason Welborn. So we've had a little bit of fighting at all territories in this 7th round so far. It started at mid and short range, then Metcalf got back on his bike and behind a long left jab. Welborn has had success with a couple of single shots of the straight variety. And again, the lead left hand has perhaps been the key punch in this contest, and it's Metcalf's who has been more effective and certainly busy, but then Welborn getting his left hand to work, shooting out that jab from the belt line.
Generally though, Ronald, when Metcalf is centre ring, he seems to, I think, have more success keeping Welborn on the outside. I think Welborn, when he steps forward and he steps on the gas a little bit, he has more success when he's pushing. That's it, Metcalf back onto the ropes. But there's some good exchanges now, both boxers catching each other. That was excellent stuff there.
Terrific right hand from Welborn. Metcalf was going downstairs to good effect. Concentration remaining as keen as ever as the bell sounds to conclude that 7th round. So this the scene backstage. Josh Warrington preparing to make the second defense of his IBF featherweight title. A customary hello, Mom. He waves to the camera. possibly be. Such a popular figure in these parts, able to feed off the atmosphere, which is continuing to build steadily in anticipation of the main event featuring the Leeds Warrior, going to make this
Bonus 10 seconds.
White Rose County Derby against Kid Galahad from Sheffield.
Seconds out. Round 8.
Into the 8th round. Both boxers on top of the logo at centre ring to begin this stanza. Metcalf trying to establish that jab. Welborn showing movement from the waist, causing the shots to slip over his shoulder.
Welborn just looking to use his jab downstairs, but for me, that's probably a decoy. He's looking to land that right hand over the top. Metcalf's got to keep that left hand nice and high. Welborn, when he throws that right hand, that's the shot he'll look to land over the top of the left of Metcalf. But again, he's a little bit too far out. It's good boxing from Metcalf at this stage of distance. And the same old problem. He's just got to throw. There it is there, look. So he just jabs to the body and then looks to land that right hand over the top. But he's got to get closer as Jason Welborn.
Welborn made his pro debut way back in 2005 as a 19-year-old. He did have 3 years out of the ring from 2006 to 2009. Despite being a pro now, you look at the starting current position of his career for 13.5 years. He said when he was out of the ring, working full-time between 2006 and 2009, his weight increased to 15 stone. And encouraged by his mother, he said, you were better when you were boxing. Why don't you go back to the sport where you enjoyed such success? That's a good right hand from Welborn, and Welborn, another body shot strays low from JJ Metcalf, and it has forced Welborn to take a knee. Steve Gray calls time immediately. Welborn just taking some time that he's permitted to recover, because again it was another demonstrably low blow. And you mentioned the vulnerability. There's a right hand from Welborn, but look at that, clearly south of the border. And the grimace immediate etched onto the face of Welborn.
It was a great shot from Welborn just before that, and Metcalf just comes back with a very low blow. So we'll have to watch what he's doing here.
Oh, when a point has been taken away, referee Steve Gray docking a point from the scorecard of JJ Metcalf. And how significant will that prove to be if we indeed go to the scorecard? So the action resumes. JJ Metcalf has had a point docked for a low blow landed on Jason Welborn. Action resumes now, and it's in at short and mid-range once again. Good right hand over the top from Welborn. Both men digging punches into the torso, looking for success downstairs, and it's another vicious body shot landed by JJ Metcalf, and it sends Jason Welborn to the canvas. Referee Steve Gray tolling the mandatory 8 pounds, and he's spent the mouthpiece, and it looks as though Welborn can't continue. Steve Gray's giving him every opportunity, but I think Welborn has had the fight punched out of him. And in an incident-filled 8th round, JJ Metcalf has concluded this contest by landing a sickening body shot, and he is the new super welterweight champion of the Commonwealth.
Well, that was incredible, wasn't it, from Metcalf? He just gets docked a point for a low blow. He responds, bites down on the gum shield, stands toe-to-toe and delivers a terrific body shot, and Welborn just could not recover. So what a response from Metcalf from that low blow that he gave, and the point deducted, responds in the right way and delivers a cracking shot downstairs.
Well, celebrations over in that blue corner, because JJ Metcalf extends his unbeaten record and has kicked on to 20-0, and now has the Commonwealth belt in his possession. What an 8th round we've just witnessed, because the action started plenty of boxing, but when they came together on the inside once again, good right hand over the top from Welborn, and then there's the response from JJ Metcalf, a demonstrably low blow, that put Jason Welborn in a world of discomfort.
Yeah, it was a cracking shot from Welborn, the right hand, and then the low shot come from Metcalf. Point was deducted. But let's have a look at the end now, because he responded in such a way, gets caught with the right hand net. Now it's toe-to-toe stuff. Let's have a look at this as he's coming forward, Welborn, and then there's the shot there, right on the belt line, and that knocked the stuffing out of Welborn. He just could not recover from that. He got up, spits his gum shield out, doesn't face the referee, and the referee is literally talking to him, and Steve Gray, he waves it off. Let's have a look again, another angle here. There's the shot there. That's a terrific punch, a great left hook. From this angle it's much better. Let's have a look. There it is there, just under the rib cage, under the right elbow of Welborn. Belting shot, and Welborn just could not recover.
So Welborn suffering his 8th defeat in the professional ranks. Celebrations for JJ Metcalf, but for Jason Welborn, that is now 5 of his 8 inside the distance losses that have been administered by body shots. Let's hear from Thomas Treiber to get the official particulars at the conclusion of that bout.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 2 minutes, 25 seconds of round number 8. Our referee in charge, Steve Gray, stops the contest as the red corner in no position to continue. Therefore, your winner, and now the Commonwealth Super Welterweight Champion, JJ Kid Shamrock Metcalf.
So congratulations to JJ Metcalf. Some shot, some stoppage with that left hook to end things in the 8th, just moments after he'd had that point deducted. Ensured it was never likely to get as far as the scorecards, with the way that he stepped in to see off Jason Welborn and inflict the 8th defeat of his opponent's career. But it's 20-0 for Kid Shamrock after that. It was a step up tonight, and he has delivered.